Hello students. So again I'm here to tell you about a very important topic of grammar, that is adjective. As soon as you wake up and you wish someone good morning, the use of adjective starts. And that's why today I'm here to give you more inputs about adjective. See, if you really want to be a person of your friends, a person of public, you need to know many adjectives because you are going to use these adjectives to compliment others, as well as you would be receiving so many compliments in the form of adjectives. For example, as soon as you go to your college, as soon as you go to your railway compartment, and if the people say you're looking really damn good today, now damn good, adjective. If they see that you look little depressed, little as well as depressed, both are the adjectives. So these words are bound to be used on and often, maybe in good condition, maybe in bad condition, or sometimes if you have a bad day, and if one quarrel takes place between you, or fight takes place between you, and verbal fight I'm talking about, definitely it will be very useful for you to have good bad words, and these bad words are going to be the adjectives, obviously. So this particular wonderful topic that we would be talking about. So I am not here to give you the bad words or the adjective that can be utilized for the fight, but I am here to tell you more about how to identify them and how to use them very correctly. And mostly my request is that you should learn how to compliment others. And if you learn how to compliment others, you need to have adjectives. And adjectives can be used to compliment others, as well as the curse word that can be utilized whenever there is a fight. And you need to have some bad words also. It does not mean that you are a bad person, but because that will definitely try to limit your anger or release your anger instead of having the verbal or maybe physical bout. So here it is, adjective. You can see in the picture that there are so many adjectives: happy, sad, open, closed, ill, injured, rich, poor, empty, full, old, new. So these are the adjectives, and somewhere at some condition every day we are bound to use them. And that's why I'm here to give you more inputs about adjective. As I said, in order to be a person of public, who is liked by so many people, you need to have good words, that is good adjectives to compliment others. So what is adjective? We all know adjective means that tells something more about a noun, that gives any quality of that particular noun, or it defines a noun. It talks about the noun that is used in a sentence. And there are different types, but out of these different types, the one type that we are going to use on and often, or we use on and often, that is descriptive adjectives. Descriptive adjectives are the adjectives of quality. Adjectives of quality means, as we say, you look damn handsome, you look beautiful, this is really awesome, this is yellow in color. Now these are adjectives of qualities, and most of the time we find ourselves using or listening to adjectives of quality. Adjectives of qualities means the descriptive adjectives that we use. Have a look at this particular slide. You will realize that these descriptive adjectives or adjectives of qualities, we have, according to the different features, different condition, different shape, different size, different value, and different color, we have different adjectives of description or adjectives of quality. For example, if I want to ask you, in Mumbai how is the weather, it is humid. Humid is the condition that I am talking about. Condition is the noun, obviously. The next one is shape. So anywhere, wherever you go, about the shapes and all, you go on talking about the different shapes that are there in any language. For example, round, rectangular, square, oval, whatever. So these are bound to be used, and these are all again quality adjectives. About the size also, small, big, thin, long, and you all know. As you can see, because of the coronavirus and due to the lockdown, there are no saloons opening, and that's why you can see even my hairs are getting long. So long, again I'm using about the size. The next one is value. Value means you talk about the personality of the person, how the person looks, how the room looks. The room is really spacious, the room is really uh, good in condition, it is really a beautiful picture, your kid is really smart. So you are bound to use these particular descriptive adjectives. And let me remind you again that in day-to-day life or in our writing and speech, most of the time people happen to use descriptive adjectives or adjectives of qualities. But it does not mean that they don't use other adjectives also, other types of adjectives. They use it, but most of the time we don't realize them. We don't realize that we are using particular adjective. It may be about number, it may be about interrogative, it may be about possessive adjectives and all that in the due course of this session you will come to know. So this is very important type of adjective that you must pay attention to, and as I say, you must learn many adjectives if you really want people like you. So you should have sincere words, and very sincerely they need to be used to complement others or to describe the size, shape, condition and value and color. Let's have a look at this. As I said, we use different types of adjectives, but we realize that we are only using descriptive adjectives. But this is another type of adjective, that is, they talk about quantity. Now quality we just discussed, and this is what quantity. Quantity means it is related to material now. It doesn't talk about number, it doesn't talk about the quality. That, for example, little, no, enough, some. I have jotted down two adjectives of quantity. As you can see in the picture, very beautiful picture I could see at one of the lectures of YouTube. You can see the link if you really want to have a look at it. The growth, there is no growth in the first place, in the first picture. The second sapling, you can see little growth. In the third sapling, if you see, some growth. And the fourth one is enough growth. See, again we don't get correct number whether the growth of this particular sapling is 2 centimeter or 1 meter or something like that. 1 meter and 2 centimeter, if we are going to use these adjectives, then they become different type. So what are these 1, 2, 3? We will see in the next slide also. But as of now, you must remember that in order to show the quantity, indefinite one, like this, little, no, enough and some, few, these adjectives of quantity can be used. So make sure that next time when you use it, because we have already discussed something else about this. In pronouns also we have seen indefinite pronouns, but here we are talking about the noun that comes. Here the sapling is the noun, so the growth is the noun. So growth, this is noun, and little, no, enough, these words, they talk something more about the growth, whether there is no growth or there is little growth or there is enough growth of that particular sapling. So when you are using it with noun or to talk something more about noun, it is an adjective. So make sure that you decipher the difference and use it very cautiously. The next one is adjective of number and the demonstrative adjective. I have clubbed them together. It is because both adjectives of number and adjective of demonstrative adjective both come under one umbrella, that is limiting adjectives. Now what do they limit exactly? They limit or restrict the number of noun or pronoun that they describe. For example, first of all, we will talk about numericals. Numerals means under the heading of or under the umbrella of numerals, you have two types of adjective: cardinal adjectives and ordinal adjectives. Cardinal adjectives are very easy to understand. That is 1, 2, 3. You can count them in number. For example, 1 liter. Liter is noun, and it is talking about one word is talking about the liter. 1 liter, 2 liters, 3 liters. In that manner, it is cardinal, and it comes under the umbrella of numerals, and numeral comes under the umbrella of limiting adjectives. And as I said, limiting adjectives means what? They limit the number of nouns or pronouns that they are describing. So here if I say 1 liter, 1 is the word that is describing the noun liter, and it is limiting. You cannot say 1 liters. If you say liters, you have to pay attention to this particular limiting adjective, that is 1. 1 means liter. You shouldn't add s suffix over there. But if you change the numeral, the cardinal, like 2, it becomes 2 liters. You cannot say 2 liter. So in that manner you can go for it. And the next one is ordinal. Ordinal means it talks about the number in rank. For example, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, go on. So that is called order or ordinals. And again, they also limit the noun or the pronoun that they describe. The next one is the determiners. Determiners means, again, as I say, they determine whether the noun is singular or plural. They are called determiners. And under the heading determiner, we have articles and demonstratives. Articles, in my previous video I have already talked about three articles, that is definite and indefinite article. In definite article you have the, and indefinite articles a and an. Actually a and an, they indicate number one. So as I said, we are talking about number adjectives. So a means one and an means one, and the means it can be singular or it can be plural. We have already discussed it when we talked about adjectives in my previous videos. So you can have a look at it, how I'm talking about. So if I say a boy, it limits. A means a boy. You cannot say a boys. In the same manner, an umbrella, you cannot say an umbrellas. So an limits or determines whether the number of the noun that or the pronoun that is coming after this particular adjective should be singular or plural. So make it a point that you use it very cautiously. The same case about demonstrative. See, demonstrative pronouns are also there and demonstrative adjectives are there again there. So if the demonstrative pronouns like this, that, these, those we discussed, the same this, that, these, those, they are also adjectives, but again their position matters, that what comes after them. After this, if the verb comes, it becomes pronoun, but after this, if noun comes, this pen, pen is the noun, so in this case it is adjective. But this is a pen, after this is, this verb comes, that's why it becomes pronoun. So make sure that you are using it very cautiously, or you are identifying it very correctly, whether it is demonstrative pronoun or demonstrative adjective. Then there is that and those. We have already discussed that this for nearer things, that for the things that are far away. Similarly, the plural of that is those, plural of this is this. So both come under the heading demonstrative. Demonstrative pronouns we have already talked about in the previous video, and these are demonstrative adjectives. But they come under the heading determiner, and determiner comes under heading limiting adjective. And actually limiting adjectives, they come under number and demonstrative adjectives. So let us have a look at it. The next type of adjective, distributive adjectives. Distributive adjective means they show one by one. The nouns that they describe, they show one by one. By the examples itself, you can understand what exactly distributive adjectives are. They distribute. There are so many people, there are so many students in the class, but if you are using one particular, if you are going to talk about one particular student or one person out of so many, we are going to use these particular distributive adjectives. For example, one of the pupils. One of the pupils means there are so many students in the class, but I'm talking about one. One of the students or one of these pupils is absent today, or one of the pupils must have taken the pen. Only one person. I'm talking about one person out of so many. So one here, it is not here. One is not performing as adjective of number. It is performing as adjective, distributive adjective. So please pay attention to this, because such tricky things may be asked in examination to identify. Then either you or I, either you, one person, or I, one person, again have to fetch him from school. So out of two people, I'm talking about one either, or maybe or is also the same case. I'm talking about one. So I am distributing the people. So same case is about each, the same case is about neither. The next one is interrogative adjective. And about interrogative adjective, again this is confusing area because we have interrogative pronouns too. The next slide will make it more clear, but let us have interrogative adjectives. They are used to get information. Whenever information is sought, but again what comes after this WH word, that matters, that decides whether the WH word is interrogative adjective or interrogative pronoun. As you can see in the picture in the slide, what book are you reading? Book, noun. So after the WH word the noun comes, so what is adjective here? So please pay attention to this. Similarly, which pizza, how much money, how many biscuits. So after the WH word, different nouns have come, and that's why these WH words, they are functioning as interrogative adjectives. And I have got this particular slide from this particular link. If you want to have a look at it or more information about it, you can go to this. This is what the difference is. Interrogative adjectives and interrogative pronouns. I have already cleared it.